Okay, so I did a little bit of research after I wrote my questions, um, and I wrote them because I was frustrated this week. Yeah, because these two characters from two different books keep walking around following me as I'm trying to stay disciplined to work on something that is more or less like an assignment because I'm working, with a coach. And these other two characters keep jumping in. So that's how I got my question.
hmm
So after I had sent both of you the question, I went in and I thought, well, I know that Charles Dickens always had that problem because they made that movie, which I absolutely love, The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Mm.
And that, I don't know, have either of you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I do know the background story of
It
of
is
that
definitely
because I love
something.
A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it
hmm
is really something worth watching
Yeah.
because it's exactly what I know we all experience, how our characters just come in and they start to live with us and they
hmm
start to talk to us. And they do a phenomenal job in, in depicting what happened in his life. So much so that when I looked up some additional information about it, it said that he would often walk up and down the hallways talking to his,
hmm
talking to his character, which I thought was just, amazing. And it went on to say, and I love Madeline Meingle.
hmm
So it also said that, let me just find it here. She remarked that she doesn't create characters, or she didn't create characters so much as to discover them. She said, an author needs to pay attention to where their characters want to go. But this is the quote that I absolutely love. She said, I do not create my characters. I listen to them and
hmm
write down what they say.
hmm
And that's so aligned
Yeah.
with, especially when I did Daddy and the Dinosaur,
hmm
or, My Daddy's a Dinosaur. I mean, I didn't write that book. That little boy
Right.
sat beside me and just told me the whole story.
hmm
you know.
hmm
And so I just love that. It also said that it talked about Elizabeth Gilbert.
hmm
And Elizabeth Gilbert said that ideas and stories are things that visit writers rather than being manufactured by them.
Yeah.
And I would tend to think she wrote that in Big Magic,
hmm
but she did a whole TED talk on the creative muse, and it's really worth watching too. So
So how do your characters kidnap you?
honestly, at the most inopportune times.
Uh-huh. What
Yeah,
do they do specifically? Like, how has it happened for you?
it happens that I'll just be doing something and all of a sudden I feel their presence, but most importantly, I hear them. I
hmm
hear them say, well, as an example, if my daddy were a dinosaur, I actually heard a line, and that's
hmm
exactly what I heard. If my daddy were a dinosaur, and I thought, oh, isn't that a cute line? And
hmm
I went about my business,
hmm
and it kept repeating until I went and thought, all right, I'll sit down. And I did. And two or three stanzas came out. I mean, it was
hmm
fascinating. Yeah, it's fascinating. The two that keep coming to me right now, again, I'll sit down and I'll be writing the other more disciplined thing
hmm
that I'm doing. And these two characters keep just walking in, just walking
Yeah.
in. In fact, it's the one young lady from the jigsaw puzzle that I had shared last week,
hmm Okay.
and yeah, it's fascinating. So I hear them talking to me. She also last week, during the week, I was trying to go to sleep. And she said to me, write this scene down. And I had to sit up and
hmm
the whole scene came out. So
Yeah.
it is really very important. So I hear them and I feel their presence.
hmm hmm
And if I don't sit down, they're relentless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am
they're
right there
relentless.
with you. Couldn't
How
be
does it
right there with
happen for
you.
you? How does it happen for you?
So this is just Reese, this is so like fitting for what's going on with me right now because like I'm supposed to be editing book three for
Oh.
the Heirs of Algoria series. And so like the other day, I haven't really been like writing a lot lately, but I've been doing a lot of meditating. And so I think that, and we could talk about this maybe like after this, but I think it has something to do with like opening up that
Mm.
like first and second chakra centers. There's like a lot of energy in those centers. And so I think for me, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's this burst of energy that comes out. And when it comes out, it's like I'm supposed to be working on all this other stuff. And these characters are like, no, 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 no. Like me. And so like it's kind of the same thing. They talk to me. And I mean, I have two kids. I have to like take care of the children and they're talking to me like you need to write this down right now. This is me, like this is what I want to happen, like this is my character, whatever. And so I have to stop everything. I have to stop everything I'm doing. I try to record it in my phone or like,
Mhm.
keep it in a place where I can keep it organized. And then every second I get that's like not doing this or doing that, I'm sitting at my computer typing it as fast as I can to try to get the scene out so that it doesn't go away. And then it just keeps building and building and building. And this is literally what's been going on for the last week and a half is, I'm at 30,000 words now of this book. And actually, it's less than that. It's probably a week because the characters are so insistent and they're all strong characters. I think that's
Mm.
another thing too. Like the stronger the character, the more pervasive they are in your life. Like they just
Mhm.
want to be written. And this book just happens to have like a lot of strong characters. So I think it's coming through with such a force. And I can't, I literally, I have had to stop doing other things.
Mhm.
I've had to be like, I can't do this right now because I need to write this because they're so loud. They're so loud.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
How about you, Jackie?
Jackie's.
I don't have this problem so much. I mean, I'm a big planner. So before I start a work at this point, I've done the fly by the seat of my pants approach. I've done the planning approach, and I am a J personality type, so I definitely like to organize. So at this point in
Mhm.
time, my past three books now, the rewrite of the third book, and then my previous book that I'm still looking for publication, and the book that I'm working on now, I have planned basically from A to Z, and it usually takes me about a good month, like with no writing whatsoever, just like the bones of the book. And in that period, yes, I have I wouldn't go as far as to say like my characters are talking to me. I'm just like obsessed with them. I'm thinking about them all the time. I don't hear voices. Like I really would love to hear
Mm.
what they say. Actually, like I want to hear their
Mhm.
voices. I want them to come and like, but I don't have that. I'm just kind of in this obsessive cycle where even when I'm around human people, they're just like, "Are you there? Is somebody in?"
Hello.
Like, like
Sorry,
yesterday,
I'm in my world right now.
yeah, yesterday I wrote all day, and then I went out in the evening, and I was like, not there.
Mhm.
I was over somewhere else in a
Yeah.
fictitious. So it's a little bit different for me, but I mean, I wish. I kind of feel like now I just need to go meditate and stuff and get myself hear my characters talk to me um because they're not talking in the way that yours are. I really
Yeah.
like.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a
It is.
different experience, I think. Like it's
Very
very
much.
different, and it's not something you can ignore, I think. Like it's something that you can't decide to turn it off, and that's what I think the whole like thing about it is that like to use your wording, Anna Marie, it's kidnapping because it's like
Mhm.
you can't well, I guess if we want to use a different terminology, you are just like immersed in their world as opposed to them being immersed in your world. Like you
Mhm.
can't almost differentiate between these things. You can't focus on anything else because they are just there, you know? And Yeah.
Yeah, I remember years ago, I wrote just a little short story, and it was about a young lady who was going to a gym, and her self-image was not what she wanted. She really didn't feel good about herself. But I remember sitting there writing it, and it was so long ago that I was typing on a typewriter. And I can remember typing the story and sitting there and thinking, oh, oh, look at that. And I had no idea. She was telling me the story as I was going along. And I was fascinated listening to what she was saying to me.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I remember that experience.
You were the experiencer, not the
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And
Um,
I think I had looked up something too. It was about Stephen King.
mm.
And where was it? Because I know I found something about him too.
I think he's a like big time pantser. I think
He's
that's
a
what
what now?
a pantser. Like he's actually I think one of the only people that doesn't even need to plan anything out and he can just like write a book from A to Z and just have like
Right,
zero zero
right.
fault.
Yeah, it
So
says Stephen King says he doesn't outline heavily because he prefers to discover what his characters will do.
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I thought this was really cool. It says he compares his writing to uncovering a fossil. He knows the story is already there, and his job is to reveal it rather than invent every detail,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know? So I would tend to think that's more of a J mindset, where
Yeah.
mine's more like Madeline. Yeah, you
That's
know,
similar to what I do.
yeah,
I have the bare
yes.
bones. I always say it's like I have the bones of the story, and the rest, like I obviously know my main character, and I know where exactly what they want and why they want it, and
Hmm.
where it's going to take them. But then the small details obviously can shift, and obviously whatever can work in their favor to help them and to hinder them in the ways that they'll need to get where I need them to go or where they need to go. Perhaps see,
Hmm.
I'm still thinking it's like me.
Yeah, I just want to share this last one. I love reading about what people do, but it said that C.S. Lewis said that Aslan wasn't something he consciously invented from the start. He said rather the lion came bounding into his imagination unexpectedly, and Lewis
Mm-hmm.
followed where it led. And
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love
yeah,
that.
I resonate with that
So do
because
I. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way it happens for me. It just, all of a sudden they're absolutely there, along with Dublin, who is standing here right beside me.
Um, I'm sure you guys have read Joseph Murphy, but I remember when he talked about Robert Louis Stevenson. It's something that's always stuck with me since I read that, like I think back in 2008 or 2009.
Hmm.
And he was talking about how, Robert Louis Stevenson would basically ask in a nutshell, his subconscious for, a best-selling book, especially if he was struggling financially or he needed something new. And he went to bed, or I don't know. I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't remember exactly the story, but I know that he asked for a book that would help him. And the brownies, as he
Exactly.
called them, delivered the book, and it was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and he wrote it in 3 days. And I think like ever since I read that, I resonated with that so much because that's how my stories come to me. Like I'll give you an example. Book two in the Heirs of Algoria, I might have written that in 3 months. That whole book was, for lack of a better term, like channeled from the next realm kind of deal. I did not do any of that writing. That was completely delivered to me. Book three, I have struggled with this book. It is like, I need to go back in. I need to redo parts. It's the complete opposite.
Mm.
This new book is the same as that book too. So I can tell the difference between
Hmm.
the two types of books, right? Like I planned book three. I did all like I outlined everything that I knew would happen, and like I knew exactly where my character was going, and it was actually like a harder process for me. It was so like this book, for instance, is just like it's being delivered, you know? There's a difference.
And I think it's interesting because I'm noticing like you've been talking about this new book that you're writing, and I believe like 2 days ago you said you were at like 13,000 words, and we were
Yeah.
like, best friends there with
Yeah.
me and my book at 13,000 words, except my book is still at 13,000 like 100 words, and you're at 30. Like, there's something there to that. There's
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, my characters won't shut up, so
I'm
just
a
to
very
good.
close character, anyway. She's very methodical, and she's
Mm,
very much in her head. So, um, I understand she's not a big talker either. So that's rough. It's rough
yeah.
writing a book about a person from first person
Maybe
that's
that's
not.
why. Maybe because she's so shy that you're having a hard time communicating with
No, maybe
Mhm.
that's what it is. She's rough. It's been I realized I started a good 7, maybe 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks work. I'm at 13,000. Maybe I'm at 14,000 words now.
No, I think everybody's different though. Like I think there are people who take, I know some people who say they take years to write books and that's just how they are, you know? And then there
That's
are
it.
other people who like, and I've listened to them talk about their process and they're like, yeah, like, oh gosh, I forget who the author is. She says she completely immerses herself in the book and she can't think of anything else. Like, and she'll write multiple books at once because she's so immersed in it. She's a big author, so I'll have to find out her name and we can, whatever. But I was like, oh, I totally resonate with that. Like I'm immersed. Like I'm every single thing. Like I was at the gym yesterday and I'm like looking out over the crowd, the sea of people. And I'm like, wow, like a lot of these people could be characters in my story, because of where it's like set in a gym type setting.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but the second chakra thing, or even the first chakra, or if you want to call it energy center, whatever you want to say, is like something I've just connected with that because I mean I've always known like the seat of creativity, right, is in that area, and that we have a lot of energy in that area. But I never really felt the connection between the two things, like um felt an opening, felt a flood of energy, and then felt a book come to me. Like that was something that I just never connected. So I'm interested to see like maybe there's a surge of creativity when something opens or aligns or balances, or maybe it's like almost too much and you need to get it out on paper so that your energy center can balance. Like, I'm not really sure what it is, but um it's very fascinating to me.
Well, I think, that there are born storytellers, and throughout history, throughout time, around the campfire, there was always a storyteller,
Hmm.
someone that just was filled with, the ability to process things and make it sound interesting. Very
Hmm.
much so. I know I did a meditation since I came up with this question. Like I said, it was something that was just all around me. And so I thought I have to sit down and meditate about this because, again, like I said at the beginning here, I have two characters that are coming in. They're both from different books, and I need to be disciplined on this third thing that I'm doing.
Hmm.
So I thought, all right, I'm just going to chill, I'm going to meditate, and so on. And during the meditation, not came up with, a thought came through, and I thought, I feel very relaxed with that. And it was that I was like at a party, and I was walking around the party. And when you're out somewhere with a whole group of people, you go to different pockets and talk to different groups of people.
Hmm.
And that relaxed me. I
Hmm.
thought, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm, at this party, and my one character, the young lady from the jigsaw puzzle, although I was playing with the title, calling it the perfect fit, um, she was over in one corner, and Quinn and Maggie are over in this other corner, and the disciplined book that I have, is right across the room. So I thought that when I finished that meditation, and how that came up to me, that relaxed me so much more rather than thinking, oh, I'm distracted. I can't stay focused on anything. And I was chiding myself as a creative versus accepting. And I found that very, very helpful. So that's why the quotes from Madeline L'Engle and from Elizabeth Gilbert both resonated very deeply.
I actually had the opposite experience from this experience. So this is not something I was planning on talking about today, but the opposite experience is that now when I sit in meditation, my characters are so loud that I can't meditate. I'm having a
Oh,
very
wow.
difficult time meditating because they want all of my attention,
Mhm.
even then, you know?
Oh, wow.
And I'm going into the space, and they're like, this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, and so like in my meditation, I think it was last night, because this morning I was like sleepy, so I had like a good meditation, but last night I was like, okay, you need to just like give me this time. Like this is my time,
Mhm.
Like, and then we can
Right.
resume.
Hmm.
Help them
Hmm.
to become nobody because that might you have to like read them the meditation
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. All right, Roman's the main character. Well, he's the main male character. I want you to visualize the space.
Between- Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Let me know
cool.
if it works.
Yeah.
Another question that I had asked myself, which I believe I sent to the two of you, is
Hmm.
how come I see myself as a particular type of creative, as a particular type of writer, and I can walk around and it feels so wonderful and everything, but when I actually step into the skin, my everyday responsibilities, I can't be that writer.
Hmm.
And I find that frustrating.
Mm.
I really do. I found that. So the skin that I walk into, is not allowing me to be what I think about in my head. Like in my head, I'm thrilled because all this is happening, but the logistics aren't there all the time. And I find that, you know, it's not where I want to be. I want to be in that magical place versus plodding along, saying, "Oh, I've got to do this," and you know what? I'll go back to writing because I have to make sure that this is done.
Hmm.
So, do either of you have that happening, or?
Um, I do, but I a lot of times I take those moments when I'm forced to do something else to integrate like the time that you need because like I feel like sometimes we want to be in that writing process because that is the magic moment and either
Mhm.
I love the planning, I love obviously the writing is my very favorite, but I even love the editing. I love everything about it. But when you have to step away, sometimes it leaves you with a space that's empty that you can let like your subconscious kind of deal with and rebrass
Mhm.
everything that you've done so far. And that's a lot of times the moments where I'm like, oh wait, that didn't make as much sense as I thought it did. Because you never really let go of those things. You could be
Mhm.
unless you have to have your entire mind on another subject, then that's harder. But if you're doing
Right.
like, menial chores and things like that, or
Mhm.
driving somewhere, like they
Mhm.
don't they do come back. The story does always pop back into your brain.
Mm.
So I realize that personally letting myself have that time and not being hard on myself allows me to get back into it easier too. Than a lot of
Mhm.
times I used to have a problem where when I would have to step aside, I'd be thinking about everything I wanted to be writing. And then once I had the time again to come back and write, well, then it wasn't going to work. Then I couldn't get into
Mhm.
the right like frame of mind. It wasn't happening. It wasn't flowing because it was flowing before, and I was mad that I wasn't able to do it when I wanted. That I've kind of like I look at things differently, and I take that time to kind of let everything settle and see when the dust settles, like if what I so far have done is really what I wanted, rather than waiting till the end of the book and then being like, oh, I should
Yeah.
have maybe done something a little different back in
Yeah.
chapters.
Yeah.
How
Right.
about you guys? So
Uh,
Steph.
for me, it's a struggle because I feel like I have so many different compartments that are going on in a day. You know, it's like you have a partner, you have children, you have, the publishing company, you have uh even like doing daily things. It's cleaning, it's cooking, it's, making sure like everything's functioning. So it's animals, it's really chaotic, to be quite honest with you. It's so much chaos every single day, just constant chaos. And so like for the the moment that sometimes I think that when characters want to be written or if like the story comes to me, it's because like my inner self is like, this is the space that allows you to be outside of the three-dimensional reality where everything's going on. And so like you can be in this world that is like a healthy escape to just allow characters to come alive, to balance those two things. Like as a writer, a lot of people would love to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna wake up, have my coffee and write all day, right? Like that's the writer's dream, right? And it's it's like the reality for me is like I wake up, I have my coffee, I have 10 minutes to get everything down that I possibly can. And then, during the day, I'm like running back to my office to get 10 minutes of something. And then at nighttime, it's like, I'll wind down a little bit, but I don't want to be on screen too late because then my sleep is disrupted. And like, that's been happening to me since the story started. But yeah, it's a challenge. I think it's a temporary challenge for me, like to be the person that I envision myself to be. Like, I envision myself as this writer and this publisher, and then it's like, but the reality is my life's pretty chaotic and I'm just sort of running around like crazy. And so yeah, so that's the way I would look at it. It wasn't always that way, like there was a period of my life where I was able to just be in that creative space and that was it, and that was cool. There was a period of my life where, I couldn't do anything because like I'm just completely consumed with like everyday things. And so like this isn't perfect, but it's like I'm doing what I want to do. I'm just accepting like this is where it is right now, you know?
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
actually your type of chaotic lifestyle is actually the reason I started planning, because I used to just fly by the seat of my pants with my books and have the ideas strike and have to write them down, but when you can't and then you lose them and then sometimes
Hmm.
they don't come back. Like
Right.
sometimes
Right.
they're gone,
Right.
and
Hmm.
you can like you can brainstorm and try to get them back, but they're gone. And
Mhm.
I was so frustrated about that now I feel like if I have down at least the bare bones, at least I know where I'm going. At least I
Yeah.
know like every chapter what's happening, or at least every section what's happening. And that way, if I do get distracted or if something happens, or like I live in, two different countries. I don't live in two different countries, but I travel between two different countries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like things like that, sometimes I'll leave for a month. And so a month is a long time to leave a book. But if
Hmm.
you have a kind of like spelled out for yourself, then you're like, oh yeah, that's
You can
right.
go back to it, yeah.
You already get
I
back
I
in.
just carry my phone around now and I just always have like voice memo up or like whatever to just
Right.
like
That's
if
what I
something
do.
comes in, because it's like I have to do that. There's no way I'm gonna remember it. Like there's no way.
Such a
Mhm.
hard time with voice memos. And like a lot of people are like, you could write your book like aloud. I'm like, no, I cannot. I need to be able to hear.
I don't want to hear my characters talking aloud. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do. I
I
like
think
to
that's
hear them.
part of what I'm going through too, is that the one book that I am working on, that's the disciplined book, it is very structured. I already have all my chapter titles written out. I've got everything outlined. And that's not the normal way that I work.
Yeah.
I don't usually do that. I did that for so many years as a teacher, planning out the whole week, with A, B, C, all of that. And I really believe that's why these other two little characters keep jumping in. It's like they're the little nymphs coming in and saying, "Oh, don't be disciplined. Do this."
Yeah. Yeah. Do this. Do this. They're like the little.
Yeah. Come out and play.
I have
read
a
that.
question. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry. I've read that for certain types of writers that writing out that outline, which is why I was afraid to do it myself, that can just like ruin the whole process. Like you're like, well, I already wrote, like I basically already wrote the book, so I don't have any interest. Yeah. So that's why I think for me, I do keep things pretty bare boned. I do develop the characters more, so I know really like what they want and what who they are, so that because like that's what's going to guide you, like you were saying, listening to your characters. Like you maybe have that in your head. I have mine on paper.
Right. Yeah, well, the book that I'm writing on that's disciplined is nonfiction. So I'm talking two different things. The fiction ones come in and they're just they're more fun.
Yeah.
But the nonfiction is important. But yeah, so it's just that type of a thing.
Okay, I have a question, and just if you guys are interested in answering, you can. So something that I find happens to me probably since I started writing novels, because when I think about Colney Hatch, like it wasn't like a full romance, like as you would say, like today's types of romance, but it was a romantic suspense actually, because it was about these two characters and this whole mystery. And then I noticed that no matter what I'm writing, I always gravitate towards the same genre. Like I I have an idea that I'm going to do something different, and then by the end, it's the same genre. Do you guys have that problem?
Yeah. Yes, every single my entire I think all of my books are about like empowerment. They're all everything about them is about empowering the reader, and like it's almost like self-help in disguise, which is really bad, I guess. But like I want like the reader to be like so uplifted at the end. And then I think I was telling Stephanie, I don't know if I was telling Anna Marie, I think I might have been telling both of you about how like my newest book, like this is such a hot and spicy book. Like I decided in the notes, it is really it's hot. It is going to be like, whoo. We are 13,000 words in, and there has been like a kiss on the cheek. That's all it's So I don't know. Yeah, I like in my brain, I'm like, yes, this is going to be this way. But then like the old, my style just drifts right in. E-rated.
That fascinates me though, because it's like, how do we determine like what as writers, like what our best place is as a writer? It's like what determines that? What determines, like, because you and I we all write so differently, all three of us, right? And I've read Jackie's like novels. We write so differently, like, but why is it that we gravitate towards that? Like, what is it that determines that for us?
Yeah, I think that's fascinating, that question. I do, because I find myself doing the same thing. And mine is old people. Now, I'm talking about before I got old. So it's always, but that's why the old man's beard has been with me forever. I mean, so it's always older people and absolutely teenagers, young adults. And I'm even drawn more to reading YA books than I am to other books. I have to discipline myself to read other books versus when I go into Barnes and Noble or anywhere, I am drawn to YA books. And that's where I feel the excitement. And I mean, I get excited in that genre. And like I said, the older people. So I've often thought about that. Like, what is it? What is it about those age groups? And that's why this jigsaw puzzle, again, which that story's been around, within me for quite some time. It encompasses both. It's the older people and this young girl, and it's fascinating. And you know what else I find fascinating? That when I actually start to put things on paper, in the outside world, I start getting things that come in right in front of me that affirm what I'm working on.
Yeah.
Whether it be an idea, whether it be something else that's out there. So I find that very interesting too. And I think, how does that manifest? I mean, how does
Right.
that come in? Yeah. So it's fun. I have to
Yeah.
say, I enjoy life because I enjoy this process of moving into this whole other world.
Yeah.